Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 500 of Prepper Talk Radio. We got myself, Scott, and Shane in the house. Paris is at a family event tonight. We appreciate him. We're sad that he couldn't be here tonight, but you know what? Family comes first, so we totally understand.
That is more important, definitely, than our 500th episode. Jeez.
And you and I have been here for the full, well, mostly the full 500, probably 490 of them each, roughly. But man, wow. Little nostalgia moment right there.
I know what you're saying, but I don't know. I'm not a very nostalgic guy. It's just another show. I don't know.
Do you have any like favorite episodes?
Oh, I'd have to put some thought into that, honestly. But no, we've had some good. We'd have had some good. Usually, with I would say we've had some great guests, but I think our best shows have been the two of us or the three of us. Really, honestly, I think when we're on point, we have a great topic. I just love the conversation.
Agreed.
I
will say this though: there are two recurring guests that we've had that have been kind of my favorites: J.R. Hendry,
no doubt,
and Jeff Kirkham.
Our two most prolific guests, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I would definitely say that we've had so many really good episodes. It's interesting because our stats on the podcast versus our stats on YouTube are so different. Like which ones hit the hardest or get the search the most or listen to the most. But it's fun to see what you guys, the audience, enjoy the most. And tonight, in epic fashion, we're going to talk about the state of the world. We're going to talk about what's popping off in the news and things that we're keeping an eye on. And we're going to rely heavily on what you guys are talking about in the chat as well to continue the conversation with Paris not being here. But as we're doing this, those of you guys who are on the live or watching this on YouTube over the next week, we're going to be doing a giveaway tonight on the live and another giveaway that we're going to announce when this drops on the podcast across all platforms. We're going to be doing a giveaway on that one. Tonight, we're going to give away a t-shirt of your choice on the website, as well as we're going to give away 2 copies of the Ready Radius to participants who are in the live. And then next week, we're going to give away, let me pull these out. Can't really show you very well, but we've got some Survival Fresh, tasty, 25-year shelf life beef, ground beef, and chicken, as well as this handy dandy Zombinator. It's the dumbest name, but a cool little toy. Hatchet, hammer, a bunch of other weird stuff, fire starter, and we're not done yet. Hand warmer. Rechargeable hand warmer, and I'm not done yet. Copy of Ready Radius, and a t-shirt of your choice from the website. So make sure you're subscribed to our email list, because that's how the instructions are going to go out next week. When this goes live, you're going to have to reply to those instructions to be able to win the big prize. Without further ado, let's dive into the doo-doo of what's going on in the world.
Seems like we're always talking about this topic. It's like every time this comes back around, I'm like, we just did this. And I don't know, it's just in my head, I guess, right? It's just,
well, that's how we end the month.
That's how we usually end the month. And I think we should continue to do that. But it's just, it goes so quickly, from month to month.
Yeah.
It's just, it's hard to keep track of. And then just to try and prepare for every one of these, with everything each of us has going on, it's kind of, I wanted to say it's burdensome, but it
is burdensome.
I don't know the right word. It's a bit burdensome, but it's I love the negative
burden,
side, right? I love the
it's a burden of our mission, right? We feel like compelled to do this, that there's a need for it. And that because of our experiences, we need to share as much as we can, right?
And we know that many of you Yeah.
a warning voice, avoiding worse. We're a warning voice, right, to the world. And man, do they need it right now.
And we know many of you guys are more knowledgeable than we are and stay on top of current events more than we do. Um,
But you won't do a podcast. What's wrong with you people?
This is our burden, right? I don't know what I'm thinking when we said yes to Paris. And so we'll put him under the bus since he's not here.
Yeah, it's Paris's fault.
So we started up. It was like end of 2015. It was like November, December, something like that, when we did our first AM radio, K-Talk, Salt Lake City live AM radio broadcast through 2018. When was that? It was the end of 2018.
2018, end of 2018.
Like October, November,
K-Talk, like and we did, was it KNRS?
A little bit of KNRS, and that was kind of a yeah, exactly. It's all I'll say. And then March of 22 until now with Paris. So, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy how fast the month, the days, the weeks, everything goes by. That's on my list as well. Of our threat recap. That's everybody's talking about this. That topic is everywhere. I see it in YouTube, all types of YouTube videos and news articles about time and of course the Earth is spinning a little faster. It's like minuscule, right? It's such a slight difference, but it is changing, and that should be a sign, right? It's about it should be something to take note of. But the times are definitely being shortened. The overall schedule of events, I think, is being cut short. I don't know what that means or what that's going to include, but that's what it.
Well, it's prophesied. Like, it's prophesied in order for us to be able to survive these times. The days have to be cut shorter, right? Things have to get quicker. Otherwise, how are we going to withstand it? How are we going to make it to the end of the road, right? If the road collapses from underneath us, how are we going to get to the end of the road if we're not given a shorter distance to have to go? Be that as it may, right? We're all running down the same types of things on our own path, headed towards the apocalypse at breakneck speed. So what do we do? What do we need to be aware of? What is going on? My big takeaway that I've been paying attention to the last few weeks, it's been kind of hot spots over the Middle East. Gaza is now in a full-on famine, according to the UN, according to the local reporting, like full-on famine. And what's Trump doing about it? What's the world doing about it? They're talking about trying to end the war. I don't hear anybody talking about let's find ways to get food and water in. They're just focusing on ending the war. To me, that speaks more of let's just continue to propagandize than anything else.
Yeah.
And they're willing to use those people as media fodder.
Yeah, and then Field Tac, he brings this up. This was on my list as well. Oh, sorry, let me click the right thing here. 600,000 new Chinese students. What's that all about? I mean, I know I have my assumptions. I have my thoughts of what that's about, but where did that come from? It's out of left field.
Right after
Black Swan.
What have we been hearing about for the last few months? We're going to restrict visas. We're going to restrict entry. And then we make a deal, and now 600,000 students. Where are they going? How are they really?
I'm speechless. I have no. I mean, there's plenty of things I could say, but I'm not going to at this point about that. Yeah,
Sandy. Yeah, right here. That was the same word I was thinking of. Tell me you're being invaded without telling me you're being invaded. 600,000 students. That's larger than so many cities across the United States.
It's a tremendous amount of people, and there's a lot of smart people. I guarantee you, there are going to be some smart kids, some smart people, and our country needs good, smart individuals. And I think that's also kind of linked to the AI bubble going on right now. The craziness, the insanity in the AI, what's going on in AI right now. We can talk about a few of those things. Mm-hmm. We're going to need, smart people to run those facilities, right? And to do all the design and engineering and so forth. And that's probably what some of that's about. But the main one that's I think been in the news is Meta's data center they're building in. Oh, where is that? I've got it written down here.
Is that the one down in Delta, or is that the one? Is that a different one?
In Louisiana.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be.
That huge. Is 81% of the size of Manhattan. They showed a illustration of it overlaying the island, and the height and the width and the length of this thing is just mind-boggling. $50 billion, and apparently they're going to build 4 of these things, and that's just the beginning. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of more in the works. That I think as many as 1,500, 50 of these extremely large ones, but 1,500 overall of these data centers for AI. This makes no sense to me whatsoever. I mean, AI is running right now to an extent, right? We've got all these data centers. I worked on the Facebook one myself. I've worked with Oracle. Yeah. I've worked with a number of different data centers here locally. Utah is kind of a data center hub. Just because of the work I do, I find myself in some of these facilities, and it's mind-boggling the size of these things and what they're doing, and the cost and the electronics and the power needs and the cooling, the water needs, like you were mentioning previously. This makes no sense to me whatsoever. How can they? Obviously, they're planning this for future need for processing, computing power, and such, which makes no sense to me still.
But it's a 5 to 10 year need gap. Like, it'll be overloaded in 10 years.
Well, and a lot of these are supposed to be online within before the end of 2027.
Yep,
is what I hear. And so, how does that happen? I mean, I'm trying to get work at the new Texas Instruments here in town, and it's a 1 million square foot facility, $11 billion, and they haven't even broken ground yet. They're breaking ground, but they haven't put any footings in the ground or anything that I know of. And so, again, I'm kind of staying on top of that one.
Well, I'm glad Rebecca brought this up. Did you?
Yeah, go for it.
They put a new AI computer farm in northern New Jersey, and it's caused permanent local temperature increase of 13 to 20 degrees.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Power bill increase by 2 to 3x. So,
yeah,
this isn't a random thing. So every AI and data center building dropped into the United States, really worldwide, the space over it is 25 to 30 degrees warmer, the airspace over it. And so it's affecting bird migratory patterns, insect and other migratory patterns. It is affecting the temperatures of everything around it. Like, why do you think they're going to do it in Delta, Utah, right? Because
nothing else.
Anybody down there, right? And it's already a desert. But that means
they have a power plant down there too.
But that goes into what's happening in the U.S. right now. We're facing a 40% decline in available fresh water over the next 5 years because of these data centers. They're calling it climate change, but because of these data centers and strip mining and all these different, like cobalt and everything else that they use tons and tons of water for,
lithium,
like all of that, it's going to be so bad.
And they're prioritizing that over food, over us, over the indigenous people. It's and what about all the other data centers being built all over the world? I mean, I know China's going nuts with their data centers. Obviously, This is a race. This is a war. Whoever wins the AI, the general AIG, is that what general artificial intelligence, GAI? Whoever wins that war wins the super intelligence war. And so we are at war. This is absolutely a war. But it's a war on the people. It's a war on us. They don't give a crap about us. Well, they don't care about us at all.
We're the consumers of the technology that spend money with them so that they can hoard more money. They don't care to destroy the economies of small countries. They don't care to destroy the food manufacturing, because what are they doing? They're moving all the food manufacturing into labs, I saw this big movement right now going into, what do you call it? They're converting semi-truck trailers into portable growing stations. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
it's one of those big investment areas that they're starting to do this.
You grow fodder for the cattle and such.
Yeah, and that's what we're moving everything to. And they have solar panels on the roof which then affects the negative nutrient density in the food. Like there's this chain reaction that's causing more and more food, mineral, and vitamin deficiencies, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, this like Rebecca commented here in Field Tac, everybody's power bills are going up. With the data set and EVs, it's a whole nother thing. That okay, EVs have their place. Totally, agree. But there's a big but. They are. I see all these Cybertrucks around, and my first thought is they will be gone within years. I mean, you won't see a single one on the road within years.
Yep.
Or you'll see far less because they're junk. They will not last.
Yeah, agreed. The planned obsolescence of all these new things is getting smaller and smaller in their windows. Like a Cybertruck's going to last you 5 to 10 years max, but the battery's only going to last 7 years max. So what are we doing here? What is the end game?
Yeah, they're not going to be. People aren't going to be able to replace their battery packs. Do like that Russian guy did, who blew up his Tesla because he didn't want to pay for the battery pack. Right? I mean,
I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, well, that was a couple of years ago. It's a fun video you could search online. That Russian, he blows it up in like a quarry. He just destroys it. He was sick of it. But then that's been a couple of years. But I mean, I've got this huge list. Things that have blown me away. Of course, the hot topics is Washington D.C. The Fed's taken over Washington D.C. and expanding from there. Right? They've already. Right when Trump announced that, says, "Then we'll think about this for other cities as well." And almost immediately after they said, "Now we're going to try to do this in New York, Philly, and so forth." Which, of course, people who support Trump are all hailing it as, "Oh, this is great. We need to make our cities great again. We need to make them safe again." There's that word, safe, right?
Safe, right? Saving America.
Mm-hmm. First Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Wow. That's pretty blatant to me.
That's pretty inspired to bring that up right there, because that is accurate 100%. Like it is. I'm watching what's going on, and I'm like, I get it. In DC, they have I'm going to throw the quotes up, legal right to do it, right? Because they'd passed a law to allow it, right? As soon as they step outside of DC, it is 100% tyranny. And a lot of the things that are happening already, guess what? It's already in that category. Like Trump is no friend of the American person. Neither are the Democrats. Neither are the regular Republicans. They all have agendas. They all have things they're doing. They report to someone else. And it's not them necessarily we fight against. It's the powers. It's the corruption above. It is,
well, of course,
just going to get worse.
Yeah, we hear about what happened today in Minnesota, and it's absolutely horrible. But you know where that's going to go, right? You know where that's going. I'm talking about the mass shooting event.
Yeah, thank you.
That's and I guarantee what we're going to hear next is that's going to be on Trump's agenda to go there next, right? Minneapolis on the list, National Guard, and I don't want to throw out that false flag word, because these things really do happen. People get hurt, right? Things really do happen, and of course we can't say for sure. Plus, I don't want to get sued for $1 billion, right? Like what's his bucket? But they're somehow connected, right? I mean, I don't want to go there, but if once you start to see, it becomes obvious. I mean, these things become obvious, and then we'll see if that gets confirmed. But yeah, Minnesota's set to take guns. Absolutely. I mean, look at what happened to Canada. It's despicable. Yeah. You can't even carry pepper spray around in Canada to defend yourself. It's unreal.
Well, in the UK, you can't even carry a knife around. Like,
yeah, exactly. Too many knife attacks. So we've got to make those illegal. Can't defend yourself. And then look what's happening in the streets. All these kids and women getting attacked, and we won't go there either because.
Well, okay. So this dropped into the chat a couple times. I wanted to talk about this too. It's like The Real ID is another tracking system, right? And then the smart meters on all of our houses. In New Jersey, there's problems with it, right? They're being billed monthly, and they're not even reading them anymore. It's just being billed monthly. And what we're finding is that it's actually increasing the energy usage in the homes. It's increasing the heat signature in the homes. It's also because of the wavelengths that the data is being transported on. There are reports showing that it's causing health issues. But then we also combine that, right? We combine those things. What other things are tracking data? Your fridge, your washer, your dryer. If they're smart appliances, they're tracking data, right? Your phone has already been tracking data for a long, long time. All of those smart cars, those e-vehicles that are out there, especially all the ones that are from Tesla, they have 18 cameras. They're recording nonstop. They're processing data. They're tracking everything and everybody. And we've seen this already. If you go back to what happened with ICE riots in LA, they were using drones and local camera networks to track down individuals for prosecution. We are already in a complete and total system setup.
Yeah, everybody go watch the video Field Tech shared on our Facebook page on the on the emergency prep page about flock data and all that. It's very enlightening.
Well, it's interesting. Like we're getting more and more restrictions. I don't know if you saw this in Utah where we live. Have you heard what happened with the Bonneville Shoreline Trail? You can no longer hike it unless you have a permit.
What?
Yep. New law just went into effect. You can no longer hike the Bonneville Shoreline Trail unless you have a permit, and permits that qualify, you can get a permit for it, or you can get, if you have a hunter's permit or a fisherman's permit of any kind, those qualify you as well. You have to have it on you to go hiking there. Like, why?
I have to look into that because I got the trail. I'm a mile away from the trail from my house.
Did Utah Mike saying that law has been changed? Did they just they made you permit to walk it. It was all over the news. And I was just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it.
I used to hike it all the time. Because it goes all the way down by you, all the way up past me. And like, it's this big old long trail.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here it says hikers and bikers will no longer need a hunting or fishing permit. Okay. So yeah, they did say, okay, you need a hunting for fishing permit to cross a section of the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. So apparently there's probably too many people making a stink about that.
Good.
So no, I did hear about that briefly and couldn't believe it, but no, that's good. That's good to know. But yeah, they're trying. They're definitely trying.
Oh, they're going to keep pushing everything they can.
Yep.
They're going to ask for a mile. They're going to push every inch, and they're just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And public land. But what they call public land isn't public land anymore. Our governments are no longer public operating. They're private corporations. Well, they're not operations for the people.
The United States of America is. It's been a corporation for 100 years.
Which goes back. Okay, this jumps into another topic. If we're okay to switch for a little bit.
Yeah. Let's do it.
One of the things I want to talk about is the silver shift that's coming in. Right, we've seen silver jumping. Right, and I'm like, I felt this way for a while, but I feel like things are going to get nuts in the next 3 to 5 years. And I'm thinking it's sooner than later now. I've been thinking 5, and now I'm like, 3. Now maybe 2. But I think we're going to see some massive, massive shifts as the credit system that we're currently using continues to default and fail. The fact that we've been pulled off of the gold standard, and before that it was the silver standard, like it used to be a 15-to-1 ratio of silver to gold. And what's our ratio now? 88.
Yep. It's been as high as 114, something like that.
Right.
Which is crazy high. I mean, it was at 100 for a long, long time, but it's been in the 80s for many years. I mean, it goes up and down. But did you hear that? I think it was today or yesterday that the USGS just added silver to the critical mineral list for the first time ever.
Oh, boy.
And so people are beginning to wake up, and financial planners and investors are beginning to wake up to precious metals and gold. I mean, here in the U.S., it's still very slow. The retail market is very slow from investors. Premiums are low. Obviously, we're continuing to push up on record high gold prices. Silver still has a long way to go to get to 50. But by the end of the year, I'm guaranteeing at least $50 an ounce for silver. And what does that mean? That means nothing. My guarantee means nothing, but that's what I see.
But here's the thing, like, so if anyone, you know who Rafi Farber is, I just shared a link in the comments. You guys can go watch this later. But he's talking about how it has to return to a 15-1 ratio just for the basic economics of it, right? The supply and demand, the usage. But he talks about in this clip how the shift is way overdue, and that this what we're seeing right now, this increase in price, the increase in scarcity, is a classic buildup before the credit collapse. And so what does that mean? Right now, gold prices are about $3,401 per spot ounce, right? Silver is at $38.53. Based on that 15-1 ratio, it should be at least 226, but both are suppressed. Both are like way suppressed. I've seen stats saying that gold should be around 35K and silver should be around 2,000 to 3,000 per ounce. Like, when that shift actually takes place, holy crud.
Mm-hmm.
And his predictions are that the federal government, the federal standard of finance, is going to be completely disrupted in the United States, and it's going to go to state by state or regional economies, moving to a silver and gold standard. And we've talked about this for years, like that
mm-hmm.
That is an inevitability, because history repeats itself over and over and over.
And I think we will eventually be a gold silver standard. At least the world will be. The U.S. probably not, because it'll be these stupid. What am I thinking? Not the CBDCs.
They were going to be the CBDCs. Now they're the U.S.
No, I just have a brain fart at the moment. The stable coins. So yeah, I mean, it was just pretty much the same thing. Just looks a little bit different, but and that will be, I think everything is going digital, everything is going to be tokenized, but the big players, the countries, they will not trust that. They will only trust gold and silver. Mm-hmm. And the big countries continue, and banks continue to buy gold like crazy. Russia is actually buying silver as well. China, who knows how much they have, 40,000 tons. Nobody really knows, but I wouldn't doubt that that's the real number, or even more. And so when they disclose how much they have, they will be setting the rules. Just like Trump said a few months ago, he who has the gold makes the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And why did he say that? I mean, that's kind of where it ended. But there has been a lot of talk lately, and it's come back around. It kind of died off and then came back around into monetizing the U.S. Assets, monetizing the spreadsheet, whatever. We're actually taking gold from $42.22 an ounce to, who knows, 5, 10, or current value $33.50, 3,400 or somewhere on there, to 10, 15, 20,000 an ounce. Who knows? But the U.S. has to do desperate things right now just to balance their spending, their spreadsheet. It's and just to stretch it out a little bit longer so they can do whatever they got to do. They think they have to do to maintain control or keep the dollar on top of the world, on top of everybody. And that's been a hard thing for these countries to break away from it, the US dollar, to get out of that system. But they are trying, and eventually it will break and it will crack.
What's interesting is we're talking about China here, and like, what do they really have? I actually saw a report the other day on their population. So do you know what their fertility rate is?
China?
Yeah.
It's under 1.
It's under 1. It's been under 1 for the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
However, over the last 50 years, they're saying that their population has grown to 1.4 billion people from 500 million people. What's interesting, to have that number actually make sense and work, that would mean that every fertile woman would have had to produce 5 children in that time, which means their fertility rate should be at 5.8 to 6%. Where are all the people? Who are all the people? What are all the people?
Like, well, I understand their population is down to like 1.2, whereas India is up to 1.5 or 6 or 7 billion, something like that. So they're definitely on a downward trend with their real estate problems and their market problems. I mean, obviously they're communists. Mm-hmm. They're constantly going to have problems. And so it's a big problem. But they hold the gold, and it's at some point they're going to say, you know, we're not so worried about our troubles because we have gold, and this is how much we have, and you can audit us, and the new standing price for gold is this, and we'll pay you this much for your per ounce of gold,
right?
And it will immediately collapse the dollar and send the whole world into turmoil, into a spin. But yeah, who knows when that's going to happen, or if it'll even happen. But that's kind of my standing case, is that he who has the gold is going to make the rules.
Unfortunately. All right, what else do we want to talk about?
Oh, geez, that's a good one. 3i Atlas, right? That thing is constantly in the news. You know what 3i Atlas is, right?
I can't remember that one.
3 is the third interstellar object. So it came from out of our solar system. And it was spotted by the Atlas Observatory. And Harvard scientists are saying this thing is not what we think it is. It's not a comet. It's not anything. It's what's the right word? I'm not losing the word. It could be intelligent, right? It's not behaving. It's not acting like a typical comet. That it could potentially be a spaceship coming this way. And there's all kinds of talk about that. It's pretty incredible what you think, okay, these Harvard people are saying about this object hurtling through space. I mean, this does make connections to, New Testament, Book of Revelations type of stuff, right? Wormwood comes to mind. Could be a number of other things, but my take is that space is not what we're told it is. It's not at all what NASA tells us it is. For me, it's the heavens. It is heaven. And so what could be coming from heaven toward here? And then the interaction between the sun and this object right now, the fields of electricity and how they're interconnecting is very interesting. You got to go watch this guy his name's Stefan Burns. He's an astrophysicist. And he talks a lot about how these things are connecting and how this is just not normal and how it's really stirring up everything in our solar system. It's very interesting. Really hot topic right now. And there's something to it as it gets closer to Earth.
Who's that guy Paris was going to try to get on it talks about like the Earth guy.
Yeah, that's a good question. We should ask him. I forget what his name is.
Circle back with him. Because like nothing that we are taught in schools is what can be tested or proven, and what has been tested and proven compete with those. Like, what is the actual core of the Earth? What is space? What are all these things? How do electromagnetic fields really work? Right? What is ether energy? Like, there's so many things that's like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
How do things really work? It's completely
frequency.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of these hidden truths are starting to come to light. And I don't really know what that means or what's true and what's not true. And some things have been around for a long time. I've heard them for, many decades, but they're still sticking around and getting more widely accepted. And I don't have any of those things written down, but if you start surfing the shorts and you see one of those, and they'll start leading you down that pathway of all these alternative history ideas and where things came from. It's very interesting time, because if you jump on Google and you try and do a Google search for anything, you get nothing but crap. You get no good information. You get what they have curated for you to see to meet their agenda. And nothing is real anymore. Nothing is real.
Oh, and I like what Field Tech just dropped. He's like, there's talk on the internet of satellites going down. And I've heard this too. Satellites going down, internet going down over the next, within 8 months due to what's occurring in space. It's interesting too, because right now, who's pushing more and more satellites and more satellite connections?
Mm-hmm.
Starlink. right? They're expanding rapidly right now. Another surveillance system, right? Data collection like crazy. So he's got satellite dishes, he's got cars with cameras everywhere.
Tunnels.
He's got the SpaceX, which is, as I think it's just a psyop distraction. But I'm oh my goodness, I don't believe space is even remotely what they tell us it is.
No. And then, starting off with the 8.8 earthquake in the Kamchatka region, it just kicked off all these earthquakes and volcanoes worldwide. They big earthquakes continue to get kicked off constantly. It's really quite amazing if you're watching, see everything that's going on out there. There's a site called allquakes.com, and it shows you can filter out the earthquakes the past 30 days, the magnitude, and so forth. And it just really seems to me like earthquakes in diverse places, right? Of course, with all the wars and rumors of wars.
Do you remember how many disasters we seem to have back in the 80s and 90s? Well, not very many, right? So there's
I was a kid. It's kind of hard to keep track, but
in the 80s and 90s, we averaged $3 billion weather events, climate disasters in the U.S. per year. Now in 2023 in the U.S., and it's a $10 billion benchmark now based on inflation. We had 23 $10 billion disasters in 2023, 28 in 2024. This is just US, but the numbers matching globally, it's the same trajectory. Like, if you don't believe we're in those last days, I don't know how you're surviving, like what your backup plan is going to be, because holy crud.
It's quite amazing. I mean, 1,000-foot spray from Kilauea fountains, 1,000 feet high. That's never seen that in my life. And then, Etna is exploding again. Volcanoes in Indonesia and Japan, Iceland, Mexico. It just seems like, of course, people are going to say, oh, this is normal. This is always happening. There's always earthquakes. There's always volcanoes. Yeah, that's true. There always are. But not like this. This is not normal. And I think that's where people get lulled to sleep, is they think, oh, this is just normal. This happens all the time. The weather's like this, weather's like that. All in combination with the droughts and the fires and the floods and everything we have. If when winter's coming, you can tell, right? Yeah. You should be able to tell if, you're my age, or even, considerably younger, just a child can tell when fall is coming. Our leaves have already started to change here, but that's because of the drought conditions. And it is getting a little cooler, but our leaves are changing already. And I've never seen that in August, really. I mean, like this.
Well, I mean, and
signs are everywhere.
And Field Tech brings up a good point. He says weather patterns are cyclical, right? They have been since recorded history, but they're also shortening, right? Times and seasons are shortening. It's ramping. It's going quicker. And what's interesting is the media focuses on this intentional information overload, which is creating anxiety in people, right? It's not just misinformation. It's just all types of information overload. It's creating an inability for people to act, to do, to respond, to know what things to be aware of and what things to react to. Like, I don't believe there's any part of our data that's actually truly secure. You put anything on the web or connect anything to the web, I don't believe that any of them are truly secure.
Totally agree.
Right? As soon as it asks permissions to access anything on your phone, it's already too late.
I don't care if you have a VPN. VPN, it doesn't matter.
I've seen too much stuff get hacked. I used to work tech support years and years ago, and I was just like, all the time, it's like, dude, it's so bad. Like, it is so bad. So now, what is the number one commodity? Data. Everyone's selling the data, or the data, or however you want. Pecans or pecans, whichever you want to call it, the data. Like, it is the most expensive, most highly digestible mode of trade right now. It's the new gold, right?
Yeah. Well, another thing that just in the past couple of days, which kind of blew me away, like, Trump is not the president of peace. I mean, he's starting all these wars. Look he just sent a destroyer, a cruiser, and a sub down off the coast of Venezuela. And they're claiming that Iran has manufacturing facilities in Venezuela. Manufacturing rockets or something, I'm not sure. But and they're also claiming that Maduro is illegitimate, which I wouldn't doubt that, right? I don't know if any leader in any country is legitimate anymore. But again, where did this come from? Obviously it's tying into Iran. They want to kick a war off with Iran. That's perfectly clear to me. Is that all the talks have been shut down with Iran. Iran's not talking. Ukraine, Russia, U.S. There's no ceasefire. There's some good news. Oh, we're going to talk. We're going to meet in Alaska. We're going to have a photo op. They speak for a couple hours and that's it. Yeah, I think we talked about that briefly before, but things are not as they're being portrayed to us. It is meant to keep us confused and scared, and that's a big part about the COVID thing as well, is that if you're scared, you're afraid, if you're worried all the time, if you don't have a clear mind, a clear thought, understand your conditions, your situations, it's a lot easier for you to get sick. Your immune system is going to be compromised, and you're a lot easier to manipulate. And I think that's what one of the many agendas that they have is to really confuse us. And also, I think when you're confused, you shut down. People shut down. So I don't even want to see this. Just do whatever it takes to keep me safe, keep us safe, right? I don't understand what's going on. You guys just take care of it. Yeah, that's
okay. So before we jump into the next part, we got to do a quick break for station identification and prize giveaway. So,
all right, cool.
Not station identification, just prize giveaway. Guys, this is our 500th episode. So we're going to do something special for those of you guys who show up every week in our lives. We're going to give away a t-shirt and a couple of books, Ready Radius copies, signed and autographed. So everyone that's in here right now, because we can't see who's in here unless they comment, drop the word prize in the comments, and I'll put your names in here, and then we'll roll the dice here. We'll do a share screen so you can see the prize wheel picker.
Yeah, if you've already commented, we've got your name. But if you're in here and haven't commented, just make a comment, and we'll put you on the wheel. Anthony.
Okay. So while you continue to talk, I'll be typing these in.
All right, cool. So we talked about the destroyers. Let's see where we talked about. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow morning, something very important is supposed to happen. NVIDIA makes their announcement, their monthly earnings tomorrow. And so, as we know, NVIDIA is their valuation is bigger than the entire German stock market, as well as many of other countries. And so, depending on where that goes, if it meets, if it slightly exceeds, or if it greatly exceeds, it's really it could send the markets into a spin here. Are you sure that's all the names here? We got Anthony.
Double checking. There's like
Field Tech.
Only half of you guys have actually said something.
Oh, okay. Sandra, Rebecca. We got.
I've got more in there.
We got up here. Me. Mike. Would you put prepared guy on there? I'm just kidding.
I wish we could put us on there. I'm trying to be.
No, I don't care. No, I'm just kidding.
Trying to get this way. Okay.
No, you're right. That's all he was commenting here.
All right, you guys are all going to win something here. All right. The first one's for a t-shirt. You get to pick it off our website. We'll communicate with you offline which shirt you want to choose. And that's going to go to Rebecca. Rebecca, I'll get with you on the t-shirt. Congratulations. All right, we're going to
very nice.
Remove you from there, and we're going to spin this again. This is for a copy of Ready Radius, autographed by Shane and myself.
Not that's
going to go to Whited. And we got one more.
All right, cool. Whited. Sweet.
Congratulations, Whited. This is only 4 participants left.
Mike.
Utah Mike. Here we go. Utah Mike. Congratulations, you guys. Now, all of you guys, plus anyone else that's listening to the podcast, we're going to have an email drop the day this drops in the podcast platform for all of you guys to participate. You'll have to reply to that email when it drops. And we're going to give away the bigger prizes, the food storage, the hand warmer, and the Zombinator, as well as we've got another copy of Radio Radius and another t-shirt of your choice that we're going to drop and ship to you wherever you are. So make sure you're watching for those emails. Check your spam folders because sometimes that's where they go. Awesome yes, sauce. It's always fun to give something away.
Sorry, they're not bigger prizes, guys, but we do what we can do, I guess, right?
Oh, Tony Parker just dropped in with a prize. Sorry, Tony. We just got rid of it all.
Email. Send us an email. We'll get you on the next one.
Go subscribe to the email on the website, preppertalkradio.com. Yes, now, guys, the world is crazy. The news is going to scare you. Everything's going to go nuts, but there is peace in preparedness. There is safety when you build a robust system around you, a robust protection system. That is your food storage. That is your self-defense practices, your health and your fitness. That is your water storage, water filtration, right? Those are the things we talk about all the time. The world's going to continue to get scarier and scarier and more screwed up. That's the promise. That's what we know. That's what we've come to expect. We're in the final minutes. The doomsday clock says 89 seconds, I think.
Yeah, which is
I think we're probably closer than what they realize. But
whew,
it gets a little bit crazy. What's top? Oh,
current doomsday clock.
Did you see Field Tack's last comment? I want to win what's on top of Shane's safeguard. Unfortunately, those are not to be raffled off.
That's correct. I kind of need that.
Yeah, that's part of the plan. But yeah, oh my goodness, this world is nuts. And I'm noticing people are getting more and more rude, more and more short-tempered, more easily angered. Temperatures internally, right? Our temperament is flaring worldwide more than ever before. All right, there's a general sense of godlessness. There's a general sense of lasciviousness, rudeness, lewdness. It's getting really, really, really sick. The world is getting sicker. And so you need to protect and preserve your peace more now than ever before. I know you had some other ones you wanted to bring up, Shane.
Yeah, I do. I've got a few more. Although quickly, I was going to answer Mike's question here. Large volume water filter. I thought we had one on our recommendations page. What was that one? That one pump filter that I bought?
Did that get taken down?
Yeah, I don't see it on there. There's the H2Go water purifier, which works very quickly, and you can do large volumes with that. That is you make your own chlorine bleach with that. That thing is great. Oh no, wait a second. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we are missing that other link. I forget what it was called. What was it? Do you remember that one was called, Scott?
Oh, that one was
portable electric water pump, high volume. I'll have that ready for you. Oh, Portawell. There we go, Mike. Portawell. Yep, that's the one. Thank you. You've answered your own question there.
And it's not on there?
No, I don't see it.
Let me fix that.
I'm just blind here, which is not.
I'll add it back up on there.
I'll see it. Yeah, Portawell. That's the one. I've got one of those, and it's pretty cool. It's very cool. You do need your own power supply with that one. Could be a little battery bank. Could just be a 12-volt battery that's charged. But other than that, yeah, those H2Gos are pretty awesome, and you can purify a lot of water pretty quickly that way. But it's not filtered, just purified, obviously. A few other things I had on my list, which, again, really crazy. The U.S. government now owns 10% of Intel. U.S. government owns.
That's terrifying.
A controlling share of Intel, and they've been talking about, we should be buying some of this company, some of that company. So look forward to that happening here soon. To me, that's called communism, right? I mean, where the government owns the means of production. And
is that part of the whole investment strategy, the American fund that Trump's creating?
No, I know what you're talking about. I think maybe that, and I forget what that was called, but I do recall that.
That's definitely sneaky.
Yeah, definitely sneaky. But yeah, good idea. We need to do an online symposium, self-reliant symposium.
I tried that years ago.
That's right.
It failed colossally. It cost me $8,000. I have almost zero interest to try it again.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with having Trump as president, right? Everybody thinks everything's okay.
Yeah.
That's what happened his first term, and it seems to be happening his second term as well.
Yep.
But let's see what else I had on here as well. Oh, you heard about the Cracker Barrel thing, right?
The not an issue.
Oh my gosh! And then, of course, Trump making it illegal. Was it executive order to burn the American flag? That's just, although I would never do that. Although I thought that's how you're supposed to retire a flag. Eventually, is you dispose of it that way.
That was how you had to retire a flag. So the question is the law for all types of
flag burning?
Like
it's called free speech there, Trump. That's what it's called.
Yeah. As much as we disagree with it. Yep.
Of course, the next hot topic is there going to be a rate cut in September? It's like 89-90% sure that they're going to do a 25-point basis cut, a quarter percent cut, which in my opinion will only raise long-term rates because the cost of money has a cost of lending, and that cost is going up. And you can't just say, oh, hey, we're going to lower interest rates. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Short term, okay, for the government borrowing, it does work that way for their own short term, right? But for us in the real world, real rates do not follow that.
Right.
In general. And I've got a bunch of other things, inflation and such here. And then, the U.S. giving the okay for Israel to take over the Gaza Strip. I mean, it's just dystopian stuff happening left and right that's so difficult to keep track of. That's part of the purpose, I think, as well.
So Philtech did clarify it's the executive order only covers flag burning that incites riots and violence.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I still don't think I'm going to try it. It's not in public, right?
Yeah. Yikes. All right. Final thoughts.
Oh, geez. I sure hope so, Philtech. Interest in self-reliance is prepping. And it seems like I do see that online. And although, our channel is, honestly, it's doing nothing. It's been stagnant, very slowly growing, and it's not being recommended. And honestly, we don't know what to do about it.
Well, I think it's in certain groups, it's going to increase, right? It'll resonate with people. Mm-hmm. But since January, we've seen Sophos Survival go out of business. We've seen Augustin Farms has reported lower numbers. Thrive is shutting down. They're one of the cleanest, highest grade quality freeze-dried foods out there.
It's just a brand. They are just, right? I think it's rebranding. They have their other brand, the Peak Fuel. Peak Fuel is their brand as well.
That's still there, but it's they're two different companies, right? The whole Thrive marketplace and everything that's going away.
Shut down. Yeah.
But we're seeing downturns in a lot of those areas in here. So who knows what really is going to happen? I think more and more people are waking up urgently, but people who have been awake for a while or thought they were awake are letting the foot off the gas and saying, I don't need to do this anymore because nothing's changing. Fatigue is hitting. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, you talk about Peak is meals, Thrive is ingredients. And even then, what's interesting too is also if you're looking for ingredients, you need to check out Food Storage Depot.
Mm-hmm.
They have the cleanest that I've ever seen. And they were always competing with Thrive and Peak on food grade quality. So they are top grain quality nutrition.
And you can find a link over on our recommendations page. Where is that? Or do we have? Because we had the challenge.
It moved. So it's we're going to drop some links tonight for you guys so you can see it on the website, but also in the Emergency Prep and Self-Reliance, we'll drop those links as well.
Sounds good to me. I mean, that's really all I got. I mean,
T-shirt. The T-shirt winner was Rebecca. We had Rebecca won the T-shirt, and then we had Whited and Utah Mike won the books. So, guys, we're about out of time for tonight. We want to thank everyone for being part of the show. You guys have made this worth it for us, right? It's a risk for us to go online and share prepping content, right? It puts us in the spotlight that we really never wanted. But back in 2015, when we were urged, as much as we didn't want to do it, we went on the air because we felt like we needed to. We felt like we could help people. And for those who are constant listeners, repeat listeners, thank you. Thank you for asking us to continue to do this content. We appreciate you. I'm still shook that it's 500 episodes. It's incredible what we've done here. Final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I think, I echo exactly what you're saying. You know, you guys are awesome. So much fun chatting with you guys every single week. It would be nice to continue to grow this. You know, I'm going to stick with it until we can't do this anymore. You know, it's hard to do every single week. We're all very busy, but that's no excuse. That's just an excuse, right? It's mindset. We got to do hard things, right? And that's, you know, what I want to talk about in the future. Let's talk about endurance. Have a whole episode talking about enduring to the end, right? Because that's what it's about. And, you know, if there comes a point to where we have to say, you know, we can't do this anymore, it'll be a sad day, you know, but we've done it once before. So who's to say? And it was when Scott was expecting as well, right?
I know, the last time we had it
again. So I know this is going to be hard for Scott to continue going on and being ready week after week with a new one coming. And you know, we each have growing families in different ways. But man, we'll keep doing this as long as we can.
Amen to that. Well, thank you guys for being on the show, for being here, and stay ready-minded. Keep that head on a swivel. Don't be bobblehead. Be a ready head. Catch you on the next episode.
See you guys next week.